There's a type of content on TikTok that feels almost too simple. Videos with no words, little to no dancing, no context, just a look, a vibe, and a camera. And yet, some of those videos rack up millions of views. And at the center of this trend, meet the Kalogeras sisters. Three sisters strikingly beautiful, walking in sync, or simply just staring at the lens. And suddenly, they're everywhere. People call them ethereal, angelic, and goddesses. They have become a full-blown aesthetic, not just creators. But here's the question. If someone who looked completely different posted the exact same content, would it still blow up? Or is this the case of beauty doing the heavy lifting? This isn't about tearing anyone down. The Kalogeras sisters are clearly aware of their brand and they've built it well. But their rise taps into something deeper, how appearance alone can be the ticket to virality, while others doing the exact same thing can easily be ignored. So let's talk about it. The Kalogeras sisters, the obsession, and what their success really says about how we treat beauty online. With that being said, let's dive right into it. Hello everyone, if you're new here, hi, my name is Kelly and I just want to thank everyone so far for the immense support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And if you don't already know, whenever I post a video talking about a very serious topic, sometimes I like to just take a step back and talk about a less important topic just for us to chill and really understand the trajectory of things. Stick around if you want to be part of it. Who are the Kalogeras sisters? The Kalogeras sisters are a trio of siblings from Greece who became internet famous through TikTok. Their content is minimalist and their visuals include aesthetic lighting, matching outfits, coordinated body language, and calm facial expressions. It's not traditional influencer content. There's little to no dancing, no skits, no strong narrative. And yet, their videos constantly hit millions of views and land on everyone's For You page. People often assume they don't speak at all, but that's not entirely true. They have a YouTube channel where they post vlogs, sit-down videos, and talk to the camera. So yes, they have personalities and they're more than just their appearance. They've created an identity around elegance, poise, and softness. It's very intentional and in the social media world, it works. Section 2. The obsession. What's interesting isn't just that they go viral, it's how people react to them when they do. Look through the comments on their TikToks and you see it immediately. People don't just say, "You are pretty." They say things like, "I don't know what you did, but I'm obsessed. This is what perfection looks like." There's a type of romanticization going on here. They're not just admired, they're idealized and idolized. And when you're constantly being treated like a symbol of beauty, not just a person, it puts you in a unique position online. Your presence becomes aspirational. People don't follow you for your content, they follow you for your aesthetic aspiration. The Kalogeras sisters aren't just individuals anymore. They're part of a mood board, a lifestyle, a type of femininity that the internet loves to promote. But again, here's the twist. If someone did the exact same thing with the same lighting, same audio, same outfit, but didn't look the same, would anyone care? I've watched a few videos from the Kalogeras sisters and they're quite funny. They mostly have teen audience, so I kind of understand the whole obsession with them as a whole. But to me, I still feel like there's this certain level of obsession that is just too much. There's this level of obsession with them that you just have to sit down and wonder, why is that so? Honestly, this level of obsession, I've never seen it before, and I'm talking to you as somebody who does research every single day. And the amount of obsessed teenagers, people that are literally so obsessed with the Kalogeras sisters, it blew me away. And I'm not even exaggerating this whole thing. It truly baffles me, and I just stay and wonder, why are these teen girls so obsessed with someone online that they don't even know personally? Beauty as a shortcut to virality. This is where it starts to get kind of uncomfortable, but also very real. Pretty privilege is something we all kind of know exists, but social media has made it unavoidable. People who are conventionally attractive are more likely to get followers, likes, comments, brand deals, you name it. But that's not because they are doing something wildly different. It's because the internet rewards beauty and we just have to accept that. And the Kalogeras sisters, they're the perfect example of how beauty can be the shortcut to virality. If you're watching this video and you don't necessarily like the Kalogeras sisters, they're not your cup of tea, you do still have to admit that they're quite talented. I know that they can draw, they can sing, they can dance, they do have a lot of talent. But let's be factual about all this and flip the scenarios. If there were 3 women who could draw, sing, dance, and swim. Let's just say they were plus sized, or they had acne, or facial features that aren't seen as model like by the internet standards. Would people still call them goddesses? Would they go viral every time they blink? Probably not. And that's not just a reflection of the algorithm, it's a reflection of us, the viewers, the commenters, the ones deciding what gets attention. And that is why I've talked about the Kalogeras sisters before. In that video, I used them as a talking point to talk about how people go viral, pretty privilege, and how us, the viewers, enable things like this. And it was a very good analysis to me. I felt like the video was actually really good. Think of this as a reboot or a redo. Think of it as part 2 of that particular video that is no longer available on my channel. What the Kalogeras brand really sells. At this point, the Kalogeras sisters are no longer just influencers. They've become a brand. Their product is this polished, almost untouchable elegance, soft lighting, neutral tones, subtle expression, coordinated visual. Their message is never loud. It's always just enough. It's beauty packaged as seniority, as luxury. There is no mess, no oversharing, no viral drama, just calm visuals and the idea that if you looked like this, maybe your life will feel this calm too. It's aspirational but also exclusive. You can try to recreate their content, but if you don't look like them, it won't land the same. And that is why they hold a specific space online that others cannot replicate. They are selling chaos, personality, relatability, and presence. And presence, when you're conventionally beautiful, goes a long way. I want to use this section to talk about something very important. It's how the Kalogeras Sisters fans accuse almost everybody with curly hair of wanting to be like the Kalogeras Sisters. And honestly, that confuses me to the core. For example, there's this girl on TikTok, she also makes TikToks. They always accuse her of wanting to be like Demetra. Demetra is 19 years old, she's the middle child. Maybe there's something that they're seeing that I'm not seeing, but it doesn't make any sense. This just ties back to the obsession and thinking that everybody wants to be like these girls. Mind you, these girls are conventionally beautiful. They're stunning. But it's not everybody that's trying to copy them. I do agree that because of their level of fame, people are inspired to be like them. But it's just so absurd. That's why I said that most of these Kalogeras Sisters fans are mostly teenagers. You could like them and be an adult,
But to be this extent of obsession,
I'm pretty sure it's mostly teenagers. Can I blame them for that? Not really, but being obsessed with somebody that you don't know online, it's crazy. Please, it is really unhealthy and it's not normal. The double standard. This brings us to a bigger issue. The double standards of online attention. People say the internet is meritocracy. If you're creative, you rise. If you're unique, people will notice. But let's be for real. In reality, the baseline of attention is completely different depending on how you look. If you're considered pretty, you could go viral for standing still. If you're not, you have to be funny, creative, vulnerable, smart, and polished just to get half the recognition. And if your content doesn't land, people don't blame the algorithm, they blame you. And that is the reality that many creators face. The Kalogeras sisters don't have to push to be heard. Their faces speak for them. And while that's not their fault at all, it's something we need to acknowledge because virality isn't always about effort. Sometimes it's just about looks. There is something I would like to add on because you already know I like add-ons. I forgot to mention this in my last video. I've already made it clear how I do not like you're coming for teenagers, but rather expressing or addressing the problem, the system, the algorithm, the brands pushing them to do things like this. I also expressed how I felt about people calling teenagers Bobs rather. It's so disrespectful and you should never call a teenager a Bob. Please keep it cool. But I would like to ask one question that I've seen going around everywhere because I don't have an answer to it. Why is it that Piper Raquel, who is 17 years old, born August 2007, why is it that she gets extreme hate? By hate, I mean a combination of hate and criticism for dressing the way she does. And then Eliana doesn't at all. Even though she dresses the same way, sometimes even worse than how Piper does. And mind you, the both of them are born August 2007. One thing I noticed in my last video when I mentioned Eliana in there, a lot of people were coming to her defense. And it didn't really make any sense because when they were coming for Eliana's defense, they were also kind of bashing Piper, even though they knew that Piper was a victim and it's her mom that's behind all of it. And again, like I said, don't bash any teenager. I want a nuanced explanation of why that is happening. Mind you, don't come after these girls that I'm talking about in these videos. At the end of the day, they're a victim of a system that was built for them. And if you're being respectful and addressing it in the right way, One day I actually get to understand this particular question. At the end of the day, I do believe that we should address the problem. That's really going to be the best for us to do right now, just to address the problem and look for a way to fix it. So you might be asking, Kelly, what do we do now? My answer to you is nothing. We can do absolutely nothing because at the end of the day, the viewer still decides who gets attention or not. At the end of the day, this all still routes back to the viewers. You cannot really tell the viewers what to give much attention to if they truly like that person and idealize them. That is why I said this video is more of a laid back video. It encourages you to think for yourself and form your own opinions from it. At the end of this all, I just think that creators shouldn't need to look a certain way to just be noticed. The Kalogeras sisters didn't invent pretty privilege, but they've definitely benefited from it in a very visible way. They've mastered an aesthetic that the internet loves, and that is not a crime at all. However, their success forces us to reflect on how we treat beauty and how much weight we give to appearance in a space that's supposed to be about content. And like I said again, they went viral on TikTok, and TikTok is a place where you can go viral for literally anything. So again, these girls are not at fault for going viral. One of the reasons I also think they went viral is because of their siblings dynamic. People just like to see pretty people be relatable. They're always playing with each other, talking to each other, expressing this sibling affection that we rarely see anymore. So seeing someone that beautiful act like a normal person, have a normal sibling dynamic with their siblings, it just feels
like a breath of fresh air.
if beauty gets you everything, what happens to the people that are not conventionally attractive online? That is all for this video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.